over on the YouTubes, and we're live on the YouTubes. Look at that, fellas, ladies, gents, boys, and girls. Good evening. Happy Wednesday, hump day. What is going on with you folks? Well, let's see who we got into the chat. I'm waiting. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me okay. Hopefully you can. I did a bunch of it says I'm live, but put a 1 in the chat, see if you can hear me okay. So, who's in the chat with me? T. Willis. Hey, T. Good to see you in there. I need to give you a wrench, T. Let me put you in the wrench, add you as a moderator. There you go. You have a new blue thing. Just curious. Sugar Britches. Let's see who else is in here. Participants. Andrea, Arlene, Aussie, Sue from down under, Blue Moon Sense. My friend for the longest time, Julie. God bless you. Love you, hon. I really do. Let's see who else is in here. We got Blues and G's Music. Gil's in here. Gregory, Hannah B, Just Curious. Little Baby Spooks Bats is in here. Moonlight Mystery, Sheldon, Sugar Britches. And again, T rounds up the top 10, 12, whatever is in here. And there's old Jimmy Blanton, buddy. What's up? We're waiting for Mr. Glenn, a.k.a. my guest for tonight. He has sent me a bunch of videos, some pictures, and I'm sure he's probably got a whole heck of a lot of stories go behind him. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Let's go ahead and get a prayer started here real quick. Father God, I come before you in Jesus Christ's name, and I humbly ask our Lord Jesus Christ that if it be in accordance with your holy will, that all curses, evil, demonic involvement, and or attacks being sent against us be blocked and be sent back from whence it came. Father God, please bless the following folks. Joanne, Marilyn's niece, Shellen Aiden, Laura and her family, Julian Jeff, Justin Walker, Sharon, Brenda, Julie S., Aaron and Erica, AJK, Claire Ellis, Dahl, Stimulate, Jack and his children, Juanita Hicks, Lee, Kim, Amy, Beth, Kurt and their father, Wes and his dad, T, Dale Pratt, Jose Ramirez, Julie Wheeler, Marquetta Jones and her family, Holly, Sharon Arms, Kevin, Hugo Nagy, and any unspoken prayers out there. Father God, please bless those folks as you see fit. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. There we go. Can't be a show without that. Amy, hey, good to see you there. Now, tomorrow night, I have been saying this for a little bit while we're waiting on Brown Dwarf to pop in. He was working at his shop earlier, so sometime tomorrow, I'm going to have, let's see, who's in here? Wait a minute, let me see. Let me get this out the way here. What we doing here? All right, there we go. So tomorrow, here we go.
Hey. Good evening, Shawn.
Just a second. For whatever reason, I ain't got my ears on. My audio's doing some weird stuff.
No worries. Do your thing, man.
Now I can hear you. I had to reboot and restart some stuff before I got on here. How you doing, brother?
All right. Good, brother. I'm doing well. Good to see you. How you doing?
I can't complain, man. God's blessed me every day I wake up.
Right on. I agree with that.
Roof over my head. I'm fat, as you can see. So
counting the blessings, huh?
Oh yeah, counting your blessings one right after another. Right, I appreciate you offering to come on board here.
Yeah, bro. Anytime, man. You know, we've been actually chatting here and there through different platforms and through text and stuff. And yeah, it's cool. It's cool to be on and have these little sharing discussions with the people here.
Oh yeah. Well, we were chatting last night over on TikTok in the private.
Mhm.
They call it DMs or private, or they direct or private. Whichever
Right.
way it was private. So we were discussing. There was a recycled. Let me pull this one up real quick. I know I've got it somewhere. A
Cheers to everyone in
recycled.
chat. Hope
Yeah.
everyone's doing well.
All right, give me just a second. I got this one. Let me add this to it. And this is, this is fake, but it's a movie fake. This is meant for a movie, and people are going crazy over it and saying, "Well, this is a real whatever." So, give me just a second, and let me pop in the audio here real quick. Make sure I got it. I should have checked this before I got on here. But what I did was I already seen this. So this is about a 2-year-old plus movie footage here. And let's see. Yeah, I got it. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and play this rascal. And I saw this last night or yesterday, and I was like, man, have you seen this? And Brown Dwarf said, yeah, I've been tagged in it a little bit. So I showed him where it was. It's fake, but it's movie fake. And people are just adopting it and saying, hey, this is without a doubt, from this point of view, a werewolf that has been killed, but I'll show it to you. Hold on just a second.
In this video, you will see a real-life mysterious...
And this guy is Rob Kabaski, and he is... Yeah, he's just... he's one of these animatronic guys. Wow. And I went through, and he has such a large catalog of stuff he's done for movies. And artistry. It looks real.
Oh yeah.
And if you go over on his Instagram account, he does fabulous work. I mean, just amazing work. But this particular fellow, I forgot who this is, that kind of said this is been in Russia, and I think it's been in France. This has been tagged in so many places, and it's saying this is a real werewolf. Nah, it's not. But then again, if you go look at his catalog of stuff he's done, you're kind of wonder, how many of these videos that I've seen and gone, wow, that is just such a crazy, crisp, clear, whatever. Is it a skinwalker, or is this this fellow's work or somebody else's handiwork or whatever?
And that I thought about the same thing. Now that you mentioned that, I was like, man, because this guy has done so many of these creatures. I was starting to think like, well, what if some of these videos out there are some of his works? And then you had mentioned it, right? You sent me a text right after. I was like, yeah. And the funny thing I found out about this guy was because I had posted a picture on the TikTok of that particular creation there, and it was just a picture. It wasn't the video, but someone had commented it was his work and to check out his site, and I did. And because on the picture I had posted, we do the is it real or not, or what do you think?
Yeah.
And so someone left, and that's why I like doing that, because then you get feedback sometimes that could lead you to some more interesting information about things and people's encounters and whatnot. And that's why I like doing this stuff. But they left the message there. I checked it out, and sure enough, it was his work was all on there, and I was like, wow. And then I started seeing the second wave that you're mentioning of people posting it back up and saying it's real. And
yeah, I'll say it. This is like the third or fourth wave of this video coming through. The first time I saw it, I was like, holy cow, that's real. And then just cursory digging into stuff, and then people saying, yeah, no, this is actually movie prop. And I was like, really?
Yeah. And I see you're good at that stuff, Shawn. You're good. I called you an investigator yesterday, but you're like, nah. But man, I see the works you do, and I know you got some good information, and yeah, man, I enjoy what you put out, and I'm trying to pick your brain and see what else you got in there.
Well, there's another guy that he is a YouTuber. His name is Sonny Vader, and he's out of. He's actually a hunter up in. One second, I just got a text message. Let's see who this is. Okay, not exactly sure who that is, but all right. There you go. His name's Sonny Vader, and he's out of Canada. I think it's just west of crap. Where was it? I told you last night the name of it, but anyway.
Yeah, and it's on the tip of my tongue.
Alberta, Canada. Alberta, Canada. And he does. Yeah, he's a good hunter, and I've seen some of his stuff where he's out on the back of a snowmobile and doing what he needs to do to hunt and stuff. But then he gets into this Bigfoot thing. Has he had encounters with Bigfoot? Maybe. I would dare say he's right in the middle of Bigfoot country up there. But he has this. He's done several of the same MOs. He blocks off, like from midriff down. He blocks it off, however, and shows this dummy, what looks like a dummy to me.
Okay.
And I've seen it. He's captured it. Caption is one was behind a bunch of snowy fallen limbs in what was an oil field. And then the same torso.
Ooh.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah. The oil field guy. I think it was.
The oil field guy is Sonny's work. Same torso, and then a couple of them do it. He's done a structure, which you've got a bunch of structures that you sent me of dead carcasses of random animals and stuff. That he's shown that, but then he has that same torso hanging around. And you're like, okay. At first, I thought same thing with the creature guy that we just went over.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, well, whatever, But it is fodder for folks like myself that do these things. Is it real or is it Memorex or what is it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What do you want to go over first, there, Glenn?
Anything you want, bro. I have no agenda. I'm just flowing with the go. So anything you want to do, I'm open.
Right.
Yeah, let's open up the portal.
All right, let's go over some of these structures first. I'm gonna get up an X real quick, and let's see. Yeah, there it is. I'm gonna get this one structure up and share it out so you guys can see. And I'm putting in my photoscape so we can do all kinds of crazy stuff with this photoscape stuff.
Cool.
Share screen and go over here, and then we'll pop this in here, and there you go. So this looks like it's foliage over in California somewhere, or a desert environment.
This is over in Humboldt County, and for those that don't know, Humboldt is known because of the Patterson footage, which was actually technically filmed on the border of Humboldt County and Del Norte County, and but anyway, Humboldt seems to take the props for it, but a lot of sightings in Del Norte also. Anyway, but this is in southern Humboldt along the Eel River, and the Eel River pretty much runs parallel to the Pacific Ocean as well. And this river spot has a lot of redwood groves, and there's been a lot of reports, a lot of rich history of Bigfoot activity around this area. And so coming into learning about the structures, X is being one of them. And I know there's a lot of people skeptical about the structure phenomenon. And and I totally get it. I'm familiar with bushcraft and Boy Scouts and people partying on beaches or in certain areas, campgrounds and whatnot. But anyway, these are two huge trees, as you can see, and there is to the left there's a redwood grove above this area, and to the right is the river. And so this is in between a grove of trees and the river. And you could totally walk under there. That's about, maybe I'd say about 6 feet. I was able to walk under there, and you could see there's a trail, and that trail kind of just followed along the riverbed, and it was perfect shelter, you know, for if you wanted to hide from anyone or anything. It's a good spot and a good way to get around in my head. And yeah, and then what was interesting is when I found this, there's people on the river, you know, getting in the river and whatnot. And but as I was walking to the structure, I heard someone, these girls, and all I heard was Bigfoot this, Bigfoot that, Bigfoot big, and I was like, whoa, what are they talking about here? And so I stopped them and I started questioning them. And it was a guy and two girls, and I got this on video as well. I didn't send you the video, but so I pointed out the structure to them. They're like, yeah, and they had been camping in the area, and the guy mentioned about seeing a possible eye shine or eye glow the past couple nights, and possibly finding some other structures. I tried to have him guide me to it, but he kind of verbally did, and I checked it out, didn't find too much, but yeah, I've had a lot of interesting stuff happen at this spot. Tracks found and a lot of structures, and this particular river goes quite a bit of ways up north to the northern part of the county, and just along all those ways are what I consider my spots, and just a lot of good areas where I found a lot of structures and just weird activity around these areas, man.
So this particular where this X is that a dry riverbed or is that just a normal trail?
Yeah,
for animals?
so to the right of it is a dry riverbed, and yeah, this is part of it, but to the right of it you'll have a bunch of river rocks. You know, it's a bunch of rocks. This is more like fine. It's a little like sandy in this area, and so it's kind of different from the actual riverbed.
All right. We got one question from Sheldon in here. Says, "Hey, are you experiencing any flooding?"
Not at the moment. At the moment, I'm in Southern California, and I did hear about all the stuff going up on up north. Humboldt did just have a big earthquake, a couple of earthquakes, I think, recently. Yep. And then I've heard about the storms that are going on, and actually here in Southern California, Los Angeles, we got some pretty good rain last night, which is much needed in the state, you know. But you know, people freak out, especially out here. People freak out with some water, man.
Oh yeah. All right. So the next up, I want to go. Let's see. Let's go. Here is one. This is actually, I think, the last one you sent me. We'll just pull it up, and then we'll get this up here. Yeah, you can see it.
So that was a little picture from a distance, and this is another area. So this is in the northern part of Humboldt County, and this is a particular beach where I found structures before as well. And there's been sightings reported. I mean, even on the BFRO, if you go out to BFRO, and you know they've been in hot water lately, so you know take their stuff how you want. But yeah, there's been reports straight out of this area here, and so these structures would pop up. I was living in this area, so I've lived in several parts of the county, so that's been cool. I've been able to explore a lot of different parts. It's a huge county. But anyway, this part of the county it's a little more populated with people. You know, there's bigger towns here. The bigger towns in the county are up this way. But this particular area, like I said, has history, and I would notice these structures pop up overnight, it seemed like. And so I started documenting and monitoring these areas and these structures, and I noticed sometimes they would pop up overnight. And this is all driftwood, as you can see here. And I see an X, and it's like a teepee, obviously, and then you see a couple of logs there shoved in the ground. And we've seen these types of structures in different places. I don't think this would hold a Bigfoot or anything. You know, it's a small. I mean, it's pretty big, but it's not huge. You know, but who knows? I don't know what they use them for, what they do it for, or if they did it. I do believe people do make them as well. You know, there's a lot of what I call groovy people in the area, a lot of open-minded people up in Northern California that like to do stuff like this, I would imagine, you know. But living there, I've never known anyone. I would ask people, and I've never really had anyone tell me that, yeah, they would do it. But So anyway, this particular area also, there was no driftwood in this area, Sean. So usually where I find the structures, you know, there's evidence of like driftwood being washed up. So whoever built this brought this material in from some other side of the beach, and it's quite a distance where the driftwood is. So I found that pretty bizarre. And this was one of those things that was kind of like overnight. So I know that it's happening during the nighttime, it seems like.
So how large is this structure? You know, that center mass, mass there, how big is that?
I call it the steeple. A buddy of mine kind of calls them the steeple, that middle piece that sticks up, or the antenna, I call it sometimes. That's pretty high up. I'd say that's probably maybe 20 feet, bro. So that's a big piece there. But everything else, and as far as like sometimes there'll be like I noticed 2 entrances inside of like the teepee structure sometimes, or it'll just be one, but the entrances won't be big at all, and but sometimes they're huge. Yeah, dude, I would love to go fishing with Stimulate down in Santa Cruz, man, for sure. And I heard that's one of the places that's getting pummeled with the storms, man.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. So I'm sure you went and investigated around that steeple, whatever you want to call it. Did you find any footprints that were non-human?
No, there was more like impressions. There weren't actual like footprints. So like there was no toe definition or any of that stuff, but you could tell there was like impressions of something walking around there. And once again, there people do come to this beach, so it could be people. And I have seen people's prints at the beach and dogs and whatnot. So I try to definitely pay attention to that and factor that in, you know.
So could just rule out, could a human or humans, how many humans could it take to make something like that? I'm sure they'd have to have some sort of vehicle to drag out there.
Yeah, well, I think the bizarre thing, one of the bizarre things is the material being brought in, because I have no idea where the hell, unless that little bit of material just happened to wash up on in that particular area, they used whatever they had. But that I found that very weird. And the other thing that it popped up overnight, and like I said, you know, I'm sure people do party. I've partied on these beaches at night, and you know, people, when they think California, you think California beaches packed, you know, and they are Southern California, and probably Central California, but Northern California is a lot more rural. So you don't get as many people as you would think, you know, in a California beach. But like I said, some of the people up here are trippy, and they do trippy things, and you know, a lot of artists, and like I said, open-minded and weird and strange and nice, groovy people, man. And so I could imagine, you know, them doing stuff like this. And so glad I thought of this. This another thing that comes to mind. So in this particular area, there's not around here, but a little further up from here, there's a parking lot, and there's this guy that we know. He's a family friend. He actually lives in the parking lot in a trailer, and he kind of like takes care of that part of the beach and the parking lot there. And I asked him about the structures, because there were some popping up in his area there. And he says that he has no idea who the hell builds them, but he notices that they just happen to pop up overnight as well, and that they get washed up sometimes. Or he'll notice that people will, and I've noticed people will like kind of add on to it. I have found people inside of them, and I do question the people when I do find them, and they have no idea either.
Okay, well, let's change it up. I'm gonna switch over to another app here. We'll go. There's footprints. This next one is a footprint. Cool. So here we go. There you go.
Yeah. So this is Southern Oregon, and this is recent. So I've been showing this one recently. And there's your teepee structure up there. And I have a other vid that goes in on that structure. But below the structure, I started finding these tracks, and even on the way down, I don't know what they call it, but it's like, I guess, for the lake. it's kind of like a steep part of the lake where I had to walk up to the structure. There was tracks going up there as well. That could be animal or possible dog tracks there. And I did find
What
a
I was
pin
looking
track.
here is this, I see there's foliage and stuff right
Mhm.
here in the middle of this. These striations? Is this footprints? The actual print of the foot itself there,
And
or is that
you're
part
talking
of
about like dermal ridges or
dermal? Yeah, dermal ridges. That's what
yeah,
I
you know
was looking
what?
for.
I'm not sure, Sean. It looks like it now that I'm looking at it. And at the time, honestly, I didn't pay attention, but I tried to look, because I did look and it didn't pop out to me at the time. But now that you mention it, I do see that. And the weird thing, some weird stuff happened when I found these tracks. So I found the tracks, I found the structure first, and then I found the tracks. And so I started documenting the tracks, and I didn't have any plaster or anything with me. And so I just documented with my phone and headed back. So this is Southern Oregon. I'm living in Southern Oregon as well. And so I went back home and made it a thing to come back the following day or so to cast the tracks. And so when I came back the following day, I got my plaster and all my stuff ready. I came back and I kind of marked where I found these tracks as well, because there was a bunch, different sizes, and so I marked them with like a little stick and whatnot. And Sean, I couldn't find them, bro. On the second time I came back, I couldn't find these
Really?
exact tracks, and I spent, man, I must have been more than an hour walking all over this place trying to find. And I was finding different tracks, but I wanted these particular ones, and I could
So
not find.
these canine tracks, or did you have a dog with you, or
No,
were
no, no,
these
I
leaf
didn't.
tracks coyotes?
I didn't. But
Okay.
here's some more tracks that I thought maybe were the same individual, and some of them are not as defined, which is pretty natural. That's kind of what you want. You don't want to be finding exactly the same uh, print over and over.
Right.
Some of
So,
them,
this is out in the middle of nowhere. Who, other than, there's some folks out there that do grounding and they won't wear anything around, especially in the middle of trying
oh yeah,
to,
yeah, no,
you know,
especially in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm totally into that too. We got a lot of hippies, and a lot of them don't like to wear shoes sometimes. So, and that's totally cool. We're totally used to that, and yeah, I totally believe in the grounding as well. This is a funny looking one. Had long toes.
yeah, I see that.
It wasn't a full track, but I think I might have got a little the mid tarsal break, I might point out, and the bottom of the heel didn't really come out, but you see the middle part pushed up there.
Right.
So we don't know if it tippy toed. I heard someone suggest that might have been a tippy toe, like or I don't know, it was pushing uphill or something. But anyway, I found that interesting. But I did get to cast this one, that little print
That
there. I
is.
mean, yeah, and then so the prints were pretty. They're a good size, But in the video I mentioned that they weren't massive. They weren't 21 inches or anything. So I was like, maybe a little person with a dog or something. Just trying to rule out everything. But look at this one here. This is a good one. And what I noticed is these were kind of boxy too. They weren't, they didn't have too much of the arch and yeah, man. So this area also, like I said, it's a lake. And at this lake, they have what they call the Bigfoot Trap in Southern Oregon. I don't know if you've ever looked that up or heard of it.
I have seen some. Is it like the permanent into like a sediment that's already hardened over? Yeah, I've seen that.
Well, yeah, it's no, it's actually like almost like a little cabin. It's like a box, and it was put there because I guess in the late 1800s, there was miners in the area that were having encounters, and so that's part of the history from this area. And I guess in the 70s there's this wildlife group that decided to set up a trap to see if they could capture one of these things, which is kind of cool and funny. But I mean, not trapping them is cool, but just the thought of putting a trap, and they went through the effort to do it. And I've been to the trap as well several times. I've found structures there. I don't know if it was just other people trying to maybe leave that as a communication, or that they're still in the area building these structures. And what do you know? I'm finding more structures around that area along with these tracks.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So while you were, at this, lake bed, did you hear anything that was out of the ordinary that caught your attention?
No, nothing that I heard, but what I thought was pretty interesting was where the structure was built. It was a small teepee, wasn't huge at all, and it was facing towards the lake, which is quite a distance away. And right behind the teepee structure was this huge berry bush full of ripe berries. I had me a handful or two. And I looked around for any tracks in the area or anything else that might have stuck out, as far as maybe, like I said, hair or just anything. And there is a little trail right behind the teepee there along the berry bushes that leads to another trail that leads into the woods there. And so I explored the area, didn't find too much behind there, but I would like to go deeper and see what's going on, and definitely do some overnight investigations in this area. I can feel that I don't know, something tells me that I got to go back and do that.
Good Lord, I don't know if I'd want to do that. Now, back in the day when I was able-bodied, yeah, I'd go out and stay the night or two out in the woods somewhere, tent and all that stuff. But to go out there and hunt and say, yeah, I know there's activity out here, I just don't know if I'd want to do that.
Yeah, and what's pretty cool, Shawn, also to get in this area, I think this area is also it's what is it, Department of the Interior, I think it is, or I think it might be one of those agencies. Anyway, there is some residential areas before you get to this spot here, and one of the last residential spots have mailbox, and it's all Bigfooted out, man. It's all decorated with this Bigfoot stuff on it, and I thought it was pretty cool and interesting. I would like to go talk to that neighbor.
So have you come across any neighbors that say, yeah, I've got this this evidence, I took this picture, or I've got this piece of fur or hair or whatever? Have you ever come across any neighbors that had that?
So so in Oregon, and we've been there going on 2 years now, and my partner's from there, so we have family and friends up there. But as far as us living there, I've only been there for about going on a couple years, and I bounced back from California back to Oregon. And I've talked to some of the people, and I haven't gotten much feedback as far as neighbors, but there is these kids that I run into town sometimes, and I forgot how we broke the ice, but the Bigfoot subject came up, and they had mentioned that they were at the river the other day and had found supposedly some hair and structures, and so that was pretty funny and cool. But the kids, I talked to the kid's dad and whatnot, and they're interested, and they're always keeping an eye out. But in town, there is a house there as well, and this gentleman put out a big old Bigfoot cutout, and I noticed he has a Jeep, and on the back where they keep the spare tire, he has the Jeep, the tire cover, I mean, and it says like something about Sasquatch research, some sort of Sasquatch research group or something. I forget what group it is, but I've been meaning to try to get a hold of him, and I might just leave a letter at his door or something and be like, hey,
Wow. Here's I've got a couple of stories from up in Canada, from different ends of Canada. Actually, one of the friends in the chats, Julie, actually told me one of the stories, and they're basically about the same freaking story. As a girl, she got lost in the woods up in Canada, in the Ontario region, and a search party went out, but she said that this stinky ape got her attention. It would jump, you've seen videos where apes or these Sasquatch or whatever will come out from behind a tree and then, go back and forth. And she she referred to it as a stinky ape. And what it did was it got her attention to the point where she would go to the tree where she saw this stinky ape. And then a little on down the line, it'd pop up behind another tree.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of, and eventually it led her back to the search party for her. Have you heard of anything like that?
Not off the top of my head, but I'm sure. I mean, I don't doubt it. I've heard all types of stuff, but off the top of my head, I haven't. And I'm sure probably later when we're done with this, I'll be like, "Oh, what man? There's."
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have a hotline, or do people know to say,
just
hey?
Just my cell phone. But actually, I did a few years back. I had a logo made, and I claimed to have a research group. It's the NorCal Bigfoot and Southern Oregon Bigfoot Project, and I'm the only member and president. So it's nothing. It's just basically my stuff. Yeah, and I made a little logo for it. But wow. Anyway, I forget. What were you mentioning?
No, I was actually asking if people actually can reach out to you and say, "Hey, I've seen X, Y, Z." So I thought you might be interested in that.
Yeah, so I had made some business cards with my email address, and I was able to hand those out throughout the town, throughout my travels, and then at conferences, whatnot, and just anywhere I feel like anyone would with information could reach out. Boom, I would do that.
All right. Stimulate wants to know any of this stuff ever follow you home?
Yeah. So back so that's how I got into this stuff, living in Humboldt County, and we were living out in a rural area out in the hills. And to give you an idea where this location is at, there's a documentary on Netflix that goes by Murder Mountain, and it kind of it gives you an idea of what's going on in Humboldt, and it's kind of the darker side of things, unfortunately, but Humboldt does have a very beautiful, bright side, a lot of beautiful people, nice people, great people up there, but there's the flip side to that as well. We're in a world of dualities here, but so Murder Mountain kind of gives you an idea where this place is at, and then there's another one on Hulu called Sasquatch, and Sasquatch.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Yeah, so that's the area where I'm at is actually the road will take you to that to the road where Sasquatch and that whole thing was talking about, and Murder Mountain also there's Alder Point. It'll take you out that way. So I'm in between those two areas right there. And I started noticing that weird stuff. I mean, I was aware of Bigfoot because moving and being in Northern California, it's in your face. You see it all over as far as like logos, stickers, shirts, you name it, redwood carvings. It's all over. And so you hear about things, and so I was aware a little bit. I didn't know too much of the activity that people were claiming to have and stuff like that. And I started educating myself. And my brother, actually, who was in Southern California, really started educating me as well with the YouTube stuff and what was going on YouTube. And so I started paying attention and learning about the structures and certain sounds and whatnot. And you know what? I was like, let me take a closer look and be a little more aware of my surroundings. And so I started walking the property and started noticing what I thought were structures, and started documenting that stuff, and started there. And then I made my way down into the redwood groves and state parks that were in the area as well. And man, I just started finding all types of stuff. And so, yeah, I think I don't think at that point they followed me. I think maybe they were just already there, or just, my awareness became more, maybe I don't know how that worked out, but stuff started happening. I started noticing noises and just the wood knocks. I've heard that, and you know, I've some of the neighbors. It's a 40-acre piece of property, so we had a lot of space and heavily forested. Some of the neighbors were pretty, you know, they had their distance from us, and sometimes you could hear them if they were working or whatnot. You know, maybe running a chainsaw or whatever. You hear that stuff, but some of this stuff was happening at night, in the middle of the night, and neighbors there, we keep in touch, you know. And I would ask the neighbors, hey, did you guys hear this? Or you know, and sometimes they would, or sometimes they wouldn't. But and I would ask them, were you guys working on or anything or doing it? No, you know. And so yeah, I would got me an audio recorder and started putting that to work. Got me my little game cams and learned that, you know, they usually stay away from that stuff. But I would have fun with it, set them up on the property and see what I would find, because I love to see what else is lurking out there as far as wildlife or any other anomalies. So yeah, that's what started me with this whole thing. So stuff started happening at the house, and then the orbs. You know, I don't know if you've seen some of the orb videos I've posted. That was all from the property there.
Oh, well, I just recently interviewed Claudia Ackley. She was from Southern California. You know her.
Yes.
But she has a little, I'm not saying, well, I'll just say claim, but I believe her claim that she was tagged or marked somehow by these Sasquatch in Southern California. And then when she moved in Tennessee, not too far from where I'm living now, the Bigfoot around here, or Sasquatch as she refers to them, knew that she had contact with other Sasquatch.
Trip out. Yeah, you see, and that's more on the deeper level, because you know this subject gets pretty deep, and then and some of the stuff people don't all agree with, but these days, Sean, I don't, you know, I don't knock anyone or you know, I keep my mind open, because some of the bizarre things that have happened to myself. And yeah, so if I wasn't there, you know, I don't know, but I do know that some of the weird stuff that people claim have happened to me. And so I know this phenomenon does have a very strange side to it. So it's not all flesh and blood. I do believe it is flesh and blood, but there's more to it, and I'm not sure what it is. But you know, and that's why we're doing this, is to try to, you know, understand more, overstand more of what this phenomenon may be, and beyond, and all the other stuff, you know.
Well, Claudia and a few others, a handful of others, probably like 2 or 3 others, talk about this hooded figure that's associated with the Sasquatch.
Okay.
Have you heard stories of that?
No, I haven't. And but I have heard of, you know, different characters like that, like the Hat Man people talk about, and of course Men in Black and stuff like that. But a hooded figure, you know, I've heard of bizarre stuff as far as like reptilians being hooded and stuff like that, having capes, and I've heard some bizarre stuff, you know, but not this particular hooded figure you're talking about, and I haven't, not that I could remember, experienced anything like that.
Well, she referred to it, spoke to her, but it spoke in like an electronic voice, a metallic voice.
Wow.
I think is what she referred to as. And I asked her, was this in mind speak? And she said the only time she had any kind of sensation that it might have been mind speak was that famous video she did over in Southern California, where she got a fear of, you know, get away from whatever these Sasquatch were. And that was the only time that she can say that she had mind speak. But there were 3 other, I think 2 other Sasquatch plus this hooded figure. And she said she thought it was a Sasquatch, but with a hood on.
So, wow. Okay, yeah, no, we'll see that, and then that brings me to, I have heard of reports of Sasquatches having clothing on, and I don't, from what I understood, it wasn't like fully clothed or anything like that. Like it was like wearing like a ripped shirt type of thing. And then what was it? Recently I had heard it was an encounter that I guess Bob Gimlin, the other Bob Gimlin, yeah, he did a thing where this guy, I forget what state, had a whole family thing going on when he was a kid, and that he, I guess, ended up in their lair or something like that. And there was all types of human stuff around, like carpets and clothing and just weird trinkets, but it was human stuff. And so I could imagine something like that, and who knows? I have no idea. Could the Sasquatch be? Could some of them be some sort of like skinwalker type, where a human shifts into these things? I don't know. I've thought about that. There's so many questions. It's a trip.
This is weird. All right, let's change it up and go to this video of this big X structure.
Yeah.
Is this near the redwood forest, or where is
this? This is in the redwoods again.
Okay.
And what was weird is that we noticed next to the structures, usually people are finding possible cryptids. And so there's the X structure, which I thought was pretty gnarly. And then, so I'm looking around to see if I notice anything else in the area. So I'm panning around, and then I noticed this stump right here. And so I zoom in on the stump, and I was like, whoa, that looks like a face on there of I don't know what, but it got my attention.
And this is 31 seconds in the video. So you think that might have been something cloaking itself, maybe?
Yeah, I have no idea, but that's what came to mind. And I know, here we go with the bizarre stuff again, like I've heard of people mention, and then even an old Native American lore that beings could possibly like somehow either, I don't know if the right word is like superimpose themselves or somehow become one with certain objects like trees, boulders, and stuff like that. And so some of us have started to take notice of things like this, stumps and burls and just weird objects, even burnt trees, and just taking a closer look at these things. And I'm very familiar with pareidolia, and so we also factor that in when we're checking these things out. And so yeah, it's something to keep in mind, and yeah, keep an eye out. There's some guys out in the scene that are documenting this stuff and really going in on what I'm telling you about. And it's really bizarre because sometimes these objects move, like, because in the video, it could have been the video, but I thought it seemed like it looked like the subject here, the eyes had moved a bit, like kind of, I don't know, kind of.
Let's see if I get it to move a little.
I can
pan back and forth. Sort of does look, well, it's hard. It does kind of look like it moves a little bit.
A little bit, right? Okay. And so I'm not sure, but like I said, it could be that I'm zooming in and the I don't know much about cameras. But it's just kind of weird. And even someone pointed out to the right of that, you could see what looks like possibly another, people were like, oh, there's two other, I didn't go as far as that, but I do see what they mean. But I'm focused on this one here.
Right. Well, that's the obvious, right in the middle of the screen.
And I saw someone question. They said elementals, and that's what that came to mind as well. And you got to, being in these redwood forests, man, you get this real mystical vibe, this magical feeling. It's really, you got to definitely experience it one day, Shawn. And if you ever do, man, I'd love to guide you through some of these spots and show you some areas.
I'm in a wheelchair, but
hey, honestly, Shawn, some of these spots are I think
wheelchair accessible.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, let's keep on playing this. See what's going on here. That is a weird face, whatever that is in that stuff.
And so I thought I'd throw a little weirdness into the show here for you, Shawn.
I like weird stuff, that's for sure. I think there's more to it than the pareidolia. I think has a factor, but I kind of wonder if we pan off pareidolia for something that's actually, supernatural.
Yes. Definitely, man. I agree with that.
Kind of disturbs your grasp of reality and say, no, I don't want, that's just pareidolia. I don't want to even process that. That could be real.
Yeah, there was a stick stuck on the ground there. Someone shoved that in, or it fell from a tall redwood, and if it did, that's
right
scary, bro. Yeah, you see that? I've noticed people point that out. The sticks stuck in the ground. So I just, I pointed it out. But
has there been any storms? Been any storms or anything through there?
Possible.
Okay,
it's possible.
All right, let me slow this down to about half speed, and we'll restart this over so we can sit there and chat. So this X, is there something between you and the other side of that X down the range? Like
just trees that I know.
Just trees?
Yeah.
Are there any kind of burial mounds, like Aboriginal burial mounds around through there?
Not that I know of. And you know what? I've always been kind of I know there's been a lot of Native American history in this area for sure. And I could tell you a little more about another area about that. But this area here, no, I think this might be a state park as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I would say if it's a redwood forest, to have to, be tagged into federal land for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Sheldon. Well, how deep was that stick, by the way, the one we just saw?
Oh man, I don't know, but it was in there pretty good.
All right. So, Shawn, you need to check out the Coyote. It's a handicap off-road wheelchair. Well, you never know. Is it got some tracks like on a tractor or what? It'd be kind of cool. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. I got a message from Shell in the chat. Let's let me get this and see. She does a lot of interesting things. What is it? Something about the download stump. I don't know what you're talking about there, Shell. But
and I think
she'll send me a message.
Yeah. If he has a question, and if anyone has any questions later that don't get answered here, they could contact Shawn or leave it on any of my videos or anything like that. And I would love to get back to you. And Dark Woods, good to see you, brother. Yeah,
Dark Woods, he's a cool dude. Cool dude. I'm gonna have to get him on here and do an entire show with him.
He's been doing the rounds too.
Oh yeah. Let's see what else we got here. So you got all these X's. To my knowledge, what I have heard of if this is actual Sasquatch, things, the X's, they mark it for either don't go past this point, or they mark it for other Sasquatch to say, hey, this is a waypoint. When you hit this point, go turn left, right, whatever.
Yeah.
So have you come across where you see an impossible grip way up on a tree where something just physically just went crunch and twisted it?
Yeah, we see that. We see that a lot. And recently out in Bluff Creek, when I was making my way down into the area there, I noticed a lot of them on the side of the road twisted off like that. But then I took a closer look, Shawn, and you know what? I honestly think it was road maintenance.
Road maintenance.
Yeah. So I think they used the machine just to break them off like that. I mean, they're all splintered. It would look like a terrible job, I would think they'd maybe like saw it off or something. But I don't know. That's what came to mind. But I could be wrong. I did document it. So I got it documented. I could share that with you one of these days so you could take a look. But
sure.
But I figured I went with the road maintenance part just to be safe. But who knows?
Who the heck knows these days? I've seen some impressive videos and some pictures of where, these things are like 8, 9, 12 feet tall, grips, like something just grabbed a hold of it, twisted a living snot out of and then break it off like they're, marking and pointing in a specific direction, a water source or food source or what have you.
Yeah, and I've gotten some of those. Excuse me, I've gotten some of those breaks, and sometimes it'll be a big tree or a decent sized tree, but it won't be broken off at the top. It'll just maybe at the base it'll be broken or midway or so. But that'll get my attention, and then I'll keep following this where I feel like guided to, and sure enough, I'll run into a structure. There's one where I found this huge structure, and it was the break that actually I think led us to it.
All right, I'm going to borrow from another source of videos and just to get your reaction. This is an old video, and I've seen it many times. I'm absolutely certain that you've seen this one, but give me just a second. Let me add this. Just get your reaction to it. So,
oh yeah,
apparently this is a Bigfoot that's running
chicken
across.
Yeah,
chicken. He snatched a chicken, and this will redo it. What do you think? Is this actually a Sasquatch Bigfoot?
I think so. And I know it looks that, you know, people always complain about the blurriness and the quality and whatnot, but apparently they were having activity on this property, if I'm not mistaken, right? And just the way it leaps over the fence, you know, MK did a great breakdown of it, and I thought it was compelling. Yeah, I think this is how they move.
Well, the way it's, you know, the way he's bent over, you know, the posture kind of reminds me of, you know, the Gimlin films, the Patty films. You know how he's forward, and that's the way it looks like. I don't think that this particular, if this is actually a fellow that's leaning forward, is stooped over trying to hide himself, because he's a huge, massive person. If this is actually a guy. So I don't think he stooped over to say, well, I'm going to conceal myself by stooping over. And he looks like he's stooped over by about 6 feet tall there. I don't think he's high. Yeah, it's like hiding an elephant in the middle of
imagine that. Yeah.
Wow. So,
but yeah, no, I think this is an awesome piece of footage here. And I don't know, was it, there was more footage to this. Good evening, Dina. There's more footage to from this particular property, was there? I don't know, because I know he's done other breakdowns, and I know there was one where they were fighting over a tire, and I don't know if it's the same property, but I know this is out of Texas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, I believe this is from Texas too. So I just wanted to show that to you, kind of, you know, break up the, you know, get your mind working outside of what you constantly talk about, your own footage, which, you know, I'm glad to share it.
Yeah, no, I love it.
To bring it.
I love it.
I love doing this review stuff.
Yeah,
this is just,
and I love how you do it too, bro. So this is cool.
Oh yeah, this is definitely cool. Let me see if I've got something else here. What do I do here? There is another one. Is this one? I don't think it'll pop. Oh, this is actually, no, that's actually yours. Let's go for another one here. Ooh. Oh, yeah. I've actually caught a couple. Peekaboo Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, speaking of Peekaboo Bigfoot, Julie in the chat, Blue Moon Sense in there. She's a good friend of mine. Love her to death. She is the one that had the story of the Peekaboo Bigfoot, and this kind of dovetails into this video. And I'm kind of wondering, you know, this is 48 seconds long. Whoops, let me turn that down there.
Dina, if you haven't seen this, get ready. Oh my God, this is a good one.
Yeah, this is a good one. It's right in the last few seconds of this video. This thing peeks out right there, and then just whoop, back in.
I mean,
if Julie's in the chat, I wonder if it, you know, like automatically, and it just zooms and disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like it just goes, well, I'm going to disappear now. You know, there it is, and it just disappears. Watch that sucker. He just disappears. I'm going to slow that down and bring it back.
Amazing.
Yeah. This one it caught my eye, and I was like, wait a minute, I've watched this probably about 20 times plus just to see what in the heck is this. I haven't put it into my video editing software.
Yes,
But
and Shawn sent
honestly,
this to you sent this to me, and it knocked my socks off. I was like, whoa.
yeah, I don't know what the heck that is. Now, riddle me this. I know there is a lot of litter trees around and whatnot, kind of obscure your vision. But once whoever's behind this camera gets close enough to where you can see it on the other side of this tree trunk that's vertical. Riddle me this. Where does this thing go? This thing this thing's thicker than a Snicker. Thicker than that freaking. So where does it go?
Oh man, he turned sideways.
Yeah. But its head is as large in circumference as that tree.
No, I honestly think it could be an example of them. People talk about them being interdimensional and being able to materialize, dematerialize, disappear, and all this strange stuff. I mean, this could be a perfect example of that, if it's real.
Well, Mike, the old religion dystopia, he talks about a bunch of these creatures, these Sasquatch and stuff, popping in and out of existence, suddenly phase in, phase out. I'm kind of wondering if there is not I'm going to hazard a guess. I hadn't actually listened to it. Let me turn. I don't think this thing is copywritten. The sound, anyways. But let's see if he says anything. Let's turn this on. You can actually see the brow ridge on that thing for just a second.
Wow.
Now, I'm a respiratory therapist, and my ears automatically tune to breathing patterns. And that breathing pattern is he's stressed. Can you fake a stressed breathing pattern? Sure. No doubt. But, that's just, to me, I can't explain it away to make it not something that's Sasquatch. Right there, he just about said the word God, but stopped. Like he's like, oh, I better not. He ain't paid attention to me yet. If I say God, right here, I think you can almost see the brow ridge right here. Can you see the brow ridge right there? So whatever this thing is, I don't know. There's no scale here to say, how tall that rascal is.
And that brow ridge is thicker than a Snicker also.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely thicker than a Snicker. So, what really gets me is where the heck? Let's get back here to where he disappears. Right here. Now, this is what I like about what I do here. Well, you can almost see. No. Right there on the left side of I think it's dual. Maybe you might see something, but that doesn't explain the mass there.
No,
that does not explain the mass. Where does that mass turn? He can't, flip around. His head's still thicker than that tree trunk. So where does it go? If he's turning right there,
and
I don't know.
And that dark jet black is just like. It's hardcore, man. That's I don't know. It's hard to even make out what it is. Like it's just looks like a silhouette almost, like a.
Well, Gene says there's too many trees there to see them. Yep, that's absolutely true. That goes back to, you're out in the middle of the forest and you see something that's, you're wherever, see something and you pull out, your cell phone or your smartphone and start filming it. You're not going to be able to set a shot up. I think he's trying to set a shot up where he was trying to get around, sneak around to say, okay, I'm gonna get a little closer to you. And this dude, this guy gets spotted, and he's like, okay, I've seen you enough. I'm going to do my disappearing trick right now.
Awesome. And my hat's off to the camera guy, man. And by chance, do you know any backstory or any information who might have put
I have no I from where I got this, I think this has been traded off and handed down, and I have no clue where this came from.
Oh, I'm glad you shared that with us, man. That's an epic one for sure.
Now there is another one. That is peekaboo. Actually, that's what I named this one, a peekaboo. Let's see, where is it? Aha, here it is. Another peekaboo one. Let me turn down the audio. I think this one actually has some audio attached to it. Okay. This goes along with the peekaboo Canadian stories I told just a while ago. So you've got this thing, whatever this is, 15 seconds long. So this is peeking around. Mm-hmm. And of course, this dude's thicker than a Snicker too. Mm-hmm. Maybe. But how you could probably say that his hand is around the side of that left side of that trunk.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But he kind of peeks around, but he doesn't do the disappearing act, I think. I'll hazard a copyright strike on the audio if there's any. Yeah. That gives nothing and no evidence at all with that music, but whatever that is, it goes along with all the stories I have heard of these peekaboo. They just look around and say, hey, you're in my living room. What are you doing in my living room?
Yeah. And Shawn, actually, if that's what you meant earlier about the lady's story, I think I didn't fully understand what you're saying, but I totally get what you're saying. The peekaboos, I've heard tons of them, bro. And actually, my first I would say full on sighting, which was on the property, was a peekaboo because kind of a peekaboo because I seen it. I was headed to a part of the property that's above the house, and there's a dirt road that goes up that way, and on this road it's wooded on both sides, and this thing, a dark black mass just like these we're looking at, but it wasn't big. It was maybe, I would imagine, maybe a little taller than me. And I'm not tall, so I was around 5'8", 5'6", around there. And this thing ran alongside of me, and I would say maybe at 30 yards distance from me to my left, and this thing flickered through the woods. And I always mentioned that it reminded me of one of those flip books. Remember those cartoon flip books that you flip and kind of you see the cartoon kind of happen? That's what it reminded me of. So this thing just kind of flickered through the woods, and then all of a sudden behind a tree, it was a pretty big tree. At the base of the tree, I seen a head stick its head out, and we had this stare down, and it was a black face. And I've mentioned before, for some reason, I thought I had a male vibe. I don't ask why, but I just thought maybe it was male or whatever it is. And I was aware of Sasquatch, and so I knew that's what came to mind. This is a Bigfoot, and we had this stare down. I don't know how long we stared each other down for. It wasn't long. I was super excited, but I wasn't scared. I didn't freak out. I had my cell phone on me. I didn't record. And then I just kind of went about what I was going to do. And that was that.
All right. Well, let's see. Shell, actually, I kind of halfway mentioned how to hunt. Steve over there on how to hunt. He does all kinds of crazy videos. And that last night's video, I've looked at it for a good 45 minutes, an hour, just watching right behind him. But there's another video about a month or two old that Shell's going to send to me. I've got a copy of it somewhere where he has a game cam across the field with a forest tree line. And something comes out of the tree line, grabs a hold of a deer, I think, and pulls it up underneath.
Yes,
like it dug, like it was. You've seen those spiders that come out of the ground, grab a hold of something, pull it up underneath the ground. That's what it looked like.
I think I know which one you're talking about. And you know what? And the one you sent me last night, it's funny because actually it was you and Dina P. We were all sending each other videos and messages last night. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
But well, I lost my train of thought there again. It tends to happen.
Yeah, that's give me just a second.
Yeah,
while Shell gets that. I got another video. Well, it's not. I got another video. I got a terabyte of videos.
And I want to
Let's
mention,
see.
I fully feel comfortable, Shawn. I don't feel any like major. Thank you. I feel no major pressure or anything. I'm totally relaxed right now.
Oh yeah. Well,
I was
wait a
kind of
minute.
freaked out a little bit before this.
Oh well, that's cool, man. That's cool. That's my theory with folks. I've had a buddy of mine by the name of Tommy. He was actually a master sergeant and did the Gulf War and everything, a sniper. And he is also a trucker. And he told me all these fantastic, great stories in real depth and told to me so many times. It's like, man, can you come on my show? And I thought for sure I would get something out of him. And he, I wanted him to tell his UFO story of when he was, I think he was going in and crossing over into California. And I think he made it took about 5 minutes for him to tell me the story the first time. 5 words. Yeah, I saw a UFO as I was driving in California. That was it. And he got stage fright. I was like, man. But yeah, this dude, he had all kinds of crazy stories. Wow. He was in a base in the Gulf of Mexico. And he had a new Louis. Said that one night that they were stationed there, and this big cigar-shaped cylinder UFO comes over top of the base, and all of a sudden, all electronics, all electrical, anything, off.
Woo!
And he said it was there for about 20 minutes, and the Louis was freaking out, and everybody there that on his team said, "No, this is normal. Don't worry about it." As soon as it went off silently, all the lights, electronics just come right back on.
Wow. So something like that, Shawn, you think in this particular case, you think that's our technology, or do you think that was otherworldly?
I honestly don't know. I don't know. It could be, couldn't be. I do think that we've got some stuff. I don't know that is not made by human hands. Mm-hmm. I'll say it like that. Talk about Claudia. I'm going to pull Claudia's famous footage up. Cool. She said I could use it anytime I wanted to. So I'm going
to That's cool. She's let me use some of her stuff as well.
Oh yeah. So hold on a second. Let me share the screen and we'll pull her video up of this thing, and there she is. Wonderful lady. I love talking to her.
Yeah.
Right there, you can see this thing. Now, there's actually 3 of them. Mm-hmm. There's one to the left of it, if you can see it, but that one right here to the right of that fork, and then she calls the alpha is right there, looking through the fork of that tree.
Okay. And honestly, yeah.
I want to go home now. Did it move? Yes. Mom.
You can see her $2 talking about these things. So,
Shoulder?
Yeah.
I want to go home now. Did it move? Yes.
all right. Well,
Yeah. So this footage, when I first seen it, Sean, honestly, I wasn't sure. I was like, oh man, I don't really see anything, and I was doubting it, and I kind of left it at that. But I noticed Bigfoot Tony had done a breakdown, and that really helped me see things, and I was blown away after that. I didn't think Claudia was lying. It's just at the moment I really couldn't see it, but yeah, I think after Bigfoot Tony's breakdown, that really helped me see what was going on there.
all right. Wait a minute. I got the actual. Whoops. There we go. That shouldn't have come. I would love to use this footage, but it is too grainy. I mean, I don't know. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can use it.
Yeah.
This is from How to Hunt and his thing. Let me get share screen, Brave tab, and then go here. Nope. Ambush. There we go. I don't know if let's see if I got a new toy last night where I can do this, where I can get this up. Now you can see right there that something grabs that and pulls it.
Yep. That's impressive.
Yeah, it grabs a hold of it, twists it, like it kind of stands up on its hindquarters, and I don't know if it's doing some sort of defensive move, and then it just overpowers it and pulls it up under whatever. I have no clue what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Other than it's got to be pretty strong to barehanded whatever animal that's scared to death of itself.
Yeah, that's a trip. And then I think the way, like you were mentioning, the way it kind of like pulls it really quick at the end. I don't know. It's something about like even like the first peeker that you showed, the gnarly one. The way that it, like the quickness that it moves, and I've seen this in other videos of cryptids and paranormal stuff. The speed of these things sometimes it has this weird speed to it that I don't know if it's effects, if it's not real, but if it's real, these things have this speed to it that really trips me out, man.
Right.
And that pulling of the animal kind of reminds me of that quickness. It's kind of scary.
All right, well, let's trade this up and go to one of your videos. And I think this is just a still shot that you kind of made into a video.
Yeah. So this is a possible subject there. I don't know if people could see it. But this is right in this particular area here. This is the Klamath River. And if you've been paying attention to David Paulides lately, he's been doing a lot of, the Bigfoot 101 and whatnot. And he's always talked about this area because he's been up in this area. Is where he wrote his first books and stuff. And so the Hoopa Reservation, he mentions a lot. This is right outside of the Hoopa Reservation. And this particular area is nicknamed Devil's Elbow. And so the Klamath River runs through there. And I was taking video. And in the video, I had noticed what I thought. When I was taking the video, I had noticed some possible vocalizations, some weird, strange sounds. And I had posted that video. And this gentleman by the name of Bigfoot Anthropologist on YouTube got a hold of it. And he did his little work. I guess he does audio work on stuff. And so he did some audio analysis on that and made a little video for me. And I'll send that to you later as well, Sean. So maybe next time, if we do it next time, we could show all this stuff too that we talk about and didn't show. Sure. But he did. So he said he picked up some possible like these weird clicking and I think possible percussive sound and some possible talking. And it was a little far out for me, and I didn't fully understand at the time, but interesting video. And there is some sounds there, but from that video is where this timestamp came from.
All right. Now, actually, Shell did a screen grab and did some enhancements.
Okay.
Of this particular piece right here. And what I want to point out is the bottom left-hand corner, which I didn't see this until Shell pointed this out. Where is it? Let's see. There we are. Perfect. Right in here, left-hand corner. Let's see if I can get this to where there's something either cloaked, maybe. Let me get this.
Wow.
If you can see that. Can you see that?
I see something, but
yeah, could it be motion blur or something there? I don't know.
And I'm glad you're pointing this out because I've never seen this or even thought of looking into this. So I definitely want to check this out further.
Definitely.
And this is a big reason why I love posting and sharing whatever I come across in my investigations. Is because I love to hear feedback and find stuff like this.
Oh yeah. All right, let's go ahead and we'll switch and go to let's do something not yours. Let me find another one. There was heck, I got so many of these things. Here's a winter Bigfoot scene. I've seen it probably a dozen times posted over the last year or so, or 2 years. I've seen this before.
Let's see. Okay. Haven't seen this.
I don't. It looks awful big. Wait a minute, right here. Let's see.
Jeez.
Right there it is.
Wow.
Again, you go back to the footage earlier where it's humped over, kind of leaning forward, sort of like the Patty Gimlin film. But there you go. I don't know what that is. Now, this track, whoever's behind this camera, and if this is actually a real Sasquatch, obviously the snow is being crunched underneath this person's feet. So how the heck did this thing sneak up on this, or is this just a curious Sasquatch and said, oh no, it's coming toward me, I better get the heck out of here?
Well, are they on foot? Yeah,
it looks like they're on foot. I'm gonna hit that like a half speed there.
Yeah,
it looks like they're on foot. You can see the bouncing from bipedal walking.
Right. I don't know, but off the bat, I'm impressed. I'm like, whoa.
I have no clue where this come from, but I've seen this posted. Jeez. Just about everything, unless it's brand spanking new on a live stream, it's been rehashed or recycled so many times.
Wow, I've never seen this. And that's another thing, man. I like doing this is because there's so much stuff I haven't seen. I mean, there's probably more stuff I haven't seen than seen. And I know.
Well, look how long that arm is right there. That's
yeah.
And it has no neck.
No. And the conical shaped dome there.
Right. Dinosaurs looks huge. Yeah, it looks huge. Right. But here's the thing. I've had a lot of people that have pop in and chat and say, well, that's all blurry and stuff. And I said, okay, well, if you had 4K video, it'd still be blurry because you're sitting there, got all kinds of incredible stress on you and your hand's sitting there shaking with the excitement. It's going to be blurry. But, this, I don't know I don't think that's a human. Unless it's just a humpbacked human with a lot of fur on his back.
And naked in the snow.
Yep. Naked in the snow, without a doubt.
That's a good one.
I couldn't tell you what the heck that is, other than it's not human, and it goes into really good possible Sasquatch material, personally.
And you know what's funny? Over on TikTok is where I'm hearing a lot more of the complaints of the blurriness. And I got a buddy over there, and he's like, you know what? I'm starting to think that Bigfoots are born blurry.
Well, there is a theory that they got trilobal hair,
right,
basically where they can blend in by from a fraction of diffraction of light.
right.
So yeah, of course, why not? If they've got built-in camouflage,
I think
natural camouflage.
Mark Zatsky down in Florida, I think he mentions the achromatic hair or something like that, it being like clear, and I don't know what else.
So it kind of blends in, like a mirage kind of deal. Yeah,
I could see that.
Of course, this is another one of those thicker than a Snicker.
Oh yeah, jeez.
Dudes,
king size.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and you can see this guy has, he's got nothing but traps right up at his neck. Even if you can call that a neck, it's just shoulders and a head. That's it.
Wow. And once again,
man.
That super dark, dark black. This one happens to be
it's crazy. Crazy footage out there. This blurry stuff that people, like you said, over on TikTok, they're used to getting this, 1080p resolution. It's crystal clear because everybody's, focused. I can see your, how many eyelashes you got. You're not going to get that out in the wild. Even with your good footage, with that tracks and stuff that you put your hand out, it's blurry. And you had pretty good quality camera equipment there for sure, without doubt. That was blurry at times.
Yeah, there's something I was going to mention right now also. Went to the back burner again.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Let's see what else we got here.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to mention. So yeah, I noticed on TikTok, and I just know with technology and just our culture and all this AI and all this stuff, like I noticed it a lot on TikTok that is like, they just, and I get it. People want, they just want the footage, the best footage, served up on a nice plate as quick as possible and on to the next too. It's just like,
if it's more than 15 seconds, they don't want to deal with it.
So I'm like, okay, doesn't work like that, but
we've taught ourselves to be ADD. Without a doubt. Now here's your footage. I'm pretty sure this is your footage.
Yeah. So this is a weird one, Sean. I don't know if you've seen this one before, but I've noticed on this tree here, but what looks like a bunch of weird faces stacked on each other, just like faces. I don't know what that is. I've heard.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I've heard of people talk about like totem poles of like either Sasquatch or different cryptids, where they get these like faces stacked on top of each other, and it looks like a totem pole. And that's what that reminded me of. I was like, well, is this one of those things? I was like, this is kind of weird looking. And I showed this also to I believe he's retired. He's a park ranger for Humboldt County, Robert Leiterman, and he says that it looks like possibly an albino redwood, but he doesn't know what all the other weird stuff is. He thought it was pretty strange too. But yeah, cool. I thought an albino redwood is pretty gnarly too.
Yeah.
And so
did you go up and touch this particular redwood?
I did not. Something told me not to go up to it. But if you notice off to the right, you'll see a brighter, it looks like a reddish color, but it's brighter than the redwoods there. So this object, I noticed, materialized. I didn't notice it at the time, but when I reviewed the video, you'll see it start to fade a little bit, and it like disappears right there. And so I scrubbed the video back and forth, and you see it appear.
What are we talking about?
This object to the right, and it's like in between the trees there. I don't know if you see it.
Are
Or
we
if
talking about right
there.
here?
Yes, sir. So that
Okay.
thing, if you notice, I'm scrubbing the video there, and you'll notice it like what looks like to me disappearing and appearing. So there it fades out, and there it appears.
Oh, yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah, and so I found that
Forest spirit comes to mind.
and
Maybe.
I heard someone recently mention that, and I'm not too. I mean, I guess I know a little bit, but I'm not too like versed on forest spirits like that. But I just felt like I'm in. This is definitely Sasquatch territory here. You know, a lot of reports out of this particular area, and I just felt like if those were my intentions, is to look for these beings, and then this happens. I was just kind of like, okay, could it be one of them doing these materializing acts again? I don't know. And I've heard of them being colored, the color of the redwoods as well, and that reminded me of that reddish redwood color. And I don't know, I just thought it was really bizarre.
All right. Let's see. Let me grab. Shill's bugged me about bringing up that how to hunt video that I shared with you last night.
Yeah, and you know what? I did not get into that video, Shawn. So it's good that we'll get into it now because I wanted to check that out.
Well, it's a good thing I actually added that thing to my browser that I can actually pull it up and magnify it. But I'll see if I can pull it up and out of our chat from last night. Let's see. See if I can find it, and we'll get this. Aha, here it is. I gotta catch it real quick so the audio doesn't do crazy. Oh, it's. Aha, here we go. All right, let me pull this up to where. Now this is real time, folks. I don't do this for a living, obviously, but
you do it good, Shawn.
It is what it is. So this is from How to Hunt's last night's video. I know he posted something earlier today, but let's see if I can find Brave tab.
And you know what? I know a lot of people don't like Steve or whatever. I respect him fully. He's doing his thing, and yeah, I listen.
So what I'm doing right now, what we're looking at is right to the left of his shoulder, along that shoreline in the background. Let's see if I can hit the play button. Well, you're supposed to hit play there, buddy. Come on. Aha, here we go. Right here, if you can see that little dot.
I see.
You see that little dot right back there? Let's see if I can. That's the first of it. I think there is, last night as I was scrubbing through this and back in like the 15-minute mark somewhere around there, there's 4 of them. But right here to the left of his shoulder, on down the line, let's see if I can capture it a little bit there. It's called The One That Caught a Huge Hand Grabbed Me Around the Waist and Tossed Me. That's the video.
Okay.
So
we could do our
1352. Okay, let me go to 1352. Let's see, 1350. I'll do it this way. I sat here to stare at this daggum thing for a good 45 minutes, an hour. Right here, see right there to the left of his shoulder, and there's another one that's right there.
Good eyes, man. Jeez. But yeah, who knows what it is, right? Because he does get a lot of bears in his area and in his videos.
But there's 2 others. There's 2 dark individuals. You can see this one going down the shoreline. And there's 2 white individuals, who knows what it is, because it's more like 3 or 4 pixels in the background, way back in the background. But you can
I'm
see this
definitely
thing going down the shoreline right here. All the while he's sitting there reading off stories from his email.
Hey, it's not the first time it happens, right? There's one
Right.
that there's a materializing one that someone pointed out in one of his videos, and I know he's posted a couple UFO ones recently, and yeah, so it's not the first time, and he's in prime country, so it doesn't surprise me that it'd be worth even going into his other videos and checking for more stuff, and which reminds me of yeah, don't throw your footage away, you guys. Even though you may go out and record some stuff and not get anything at the moment, but a lot of things happen when you review your stuff or when people check your stuff out is when things get found and or things get spotted and whatnot. So I don't really throw away a lot of my footage. Try to keep it and go through it and stuff.
Yeah, I just wanted to show that off, and that was one of my great wastes of time. Not great waste of time. It's one of those things you just like. Did I just see what all that was going on in the background?
Mm-hmm. No,
Zoom, Shawn, pretty please. I am zooming. That's about 400% right there. So that being said,
good
we'll
find.
hit that. That's impromptu kind of whatever this is that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
A review. So next up, let's go back. We've already saw your other video. Well, let's go and look at another one of your pictures.
Sure.
Let's see. I got you under brown. All right. Let me move this up. I don't know why is this. Now this is a whole lot of pixelation, but I'll let you explain this in just a second. As soon as I share the screen out. Here we go. There you go.
Mm-hmm. So this is a possible, we look at these black. I've been training myself to look at these black spots or images, when I'm out in the field or looking at footage. And this is from a video, and there's another picture I sent you that goes along with this, with another subject that is a little more defined. But it was just one of those, black spots right next to this other, like I said, this other subject. It kind of stood out to me in the video, and like I said, once again, a timestamp. I don't know. It could be nothing. But hopefully, if you pull up the other picture, you'll see this other timestamp is a little more defined of a possible subject.
Let's see. Nope. No, that's the same picture. Don't have anything that looks like that particular picture. Let me even go back through your text messages real quick.
Yeah, and if it didn't go through, no worries, man.
That's all right. This is just freaking fun to me right now.
Got to do it more often, huh?
Oh yeah. Let's see if I can get this over here. Copy.
Yeah, I eventually want to get a really nice studio. I'm gonna get a really nice studio, and have the whole setup and that whole thing.
Yeah, I don't think that went through. That was the only one I can.
All right, no worries, man.
Wait. Nope. Actually, I got it right here. I think it's no. Yeah. Let me post this. Move it to my drive, and then we'll pop it up. What I do with it first off. Son of a gun, man. All right. I'll pop it right here. Yeah. Replace. Sure. Why not? Then open with Photoscape. There we go. Yes. Nope. I don't want to save it. Here's the picture itself, I guess. I don't know if you can see the timestamp on it or not with this one. Yeah, but you can definitely see.
Uh-huh. It was a weird. This one was a weird one, but I just thought it was worthy of documenting for sure. I mean, I have no idea what it is or what it could be, but kind of weird shape there. And
well, you can pick out, right here. You can pick out some eyes right here,
right
in the middle there. Let's do this. This is why I love this particular video editing software, or not the video, the photo editing software. You can do this on the fly.
Awesome.
And add and subtract or do whatever you need to with it. So you can definitely see some eyes right here. And you can go from negative back and forth of that.
Okay. And I wonder, is it more than one? Because the other subject, I think it could be more than one. It seemed like, but it was just hard to tell.
Well, the black and white Brandycott thing is, I don't know. I don't know if that kind of defines the eyes a little bit. The dark recesses of the eyes, maybe. Let me pull this up a little bit to where, let's do that. There's something there. What it is, I don't know. There's definitely something there.
Yeah, I'm glad you agree.
There's definitely something there. What do you folks in chat think it is? Do you think this is just a leaf litter in a tree, or is it just some sort of dark recess of some negative space that's empty in the tree line there? Who knows? I don't know. But there's definitely, to my eye, it could possibly be a big old son of a gun that is standing there looking directly at you. And whatever this is right here to the left.
And so that's, you see that? And then, so on the other subject and I'll send you the full video, Shawn. I noticed that there was, this other weird stuff going on. And that's what actually made me look into these dark subjects, because it was this other brownish looking subject in the area that caught my eye, and I looked in further, sent it to Colorado Bigfoot, and he spotted these subjects and was like, dude, you got something going on here.
Yeah, to my eye, two eyes right here, one right here, and then maybe a bridge around a brow bridge or bridge brow. Yeah, bridge brow. My brain's not working right now. And then maybe a conical shape right here to a head.
I see. And like I said, something came to mind that it could be more than one there. And, I was thinking little ones possibly. I don't know. I was just like, whoa, this looks gnarly. And I'm glad we're doing this.
There's a new, it's not a new feature. This is a feature that I just found the other day. And I could do some squirrely stuff with the video. I mean, the pictures.
See, you got the fun stuff, Shawn.
Wait a minute. I actually saw that actually pulls out something. It gives a little depth to whatever the heck that is. To me. Maybe. Are we just pulling out pareidolia? Maybe. I don't know.
But once again, I mentioned that these pieces of footage that we're sharing now, I definitely had a weird. So there's a particular vibe that I pick up on when I feel a certain presence, and when I'm out doing this, I mentioned that those are my intentions, to try and make contact with these beings, right? And so I'm putting that out there, and so when I feel this certain vibe, that leads me to believe that possibly there's something or some of them or one of them around. And so I pay attention to that feeling a lot, Shawn, when I'm out doing my thing. And I definitely had that feeling when these pieces of footage were taken.
Do you ever feel fear or out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, like, oh, why am I so have an anxiety attack all of a sudden for no reason? Just boom.
Yeah,
I'm not supposed to be here. I need to get out of here.
Yeah, not a full on anxiety attack, but I've had the feeling of like, all right, maybe I shouldn't go in this area, or maybe don't go in this area at all, or yeah, it's time to go type thing. Yeah, I've definitely gotten that, but I've never been bluff charged or anything that I could think of off the top of my head. Anything really negative happened, Sean. So, that's something I put in my notes. It's like, yeah, because you get all this negative and all this fear, and they're monsters and all this dark stuff from them, and maybe it's not all true.
All right,
yeah,
is this? Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
I think this may have been the one.
Yeah, this is like a couple possible subjects, and this was pointed out by, and I'm trying to get him on the show. I'm trying to hook you guys up. Gonzo from Breaking Bad, Jesus Bayan. So this is a huge structure, and you can't tell here because this is a timestamp, but it was a timestamp from this video that I made, and it's also Redwood Grove, but this is just north of San Francisco and near Mount Tamalpais. And there's been some strange stuff around between Mount Tam, I think, and Point Reyes possibly. But yeah, it was an interesting structure. But then, yeah, he's like, dude, you might have something here. And it looks like to the left, a possible subject on all fours, and to the right of that, another subject that's standing there.
To me, it kind of looks maybe three of them.
Okay.
Maybe. You obviously you got this, the tree trunk, the standing tree vertical, and then you got something right in here, and maybe on all fours. I can see what he's talking about. You got this thing, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. Let's do a negative on this one. See if there's it's too washed out. Let's see if we can do the curves feature here. Kind of bring this out. Don't know if you can do. Yeah. Sometimes this is fun. Sometimes it's not. Yeah. Kind of brings out the color a little bit.
A little bit.
Let me reset this. That don't work. Well, hello. Bring it back up. Start out in the middle and kind of edge it up with the brightness and contrast. See what this does. No, I don't do a dadgum thing that I wanted to do. Kind of looks like right over in here, there's something sitting.
Wow.
Maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of make, I know there's two big little, fallen logs
Mm-hmm.
that are horizontal right there, but it kind of looks like it's right behind it sitting. And you got whatever this is right here. Then, of course, you got, I can see where this could be on all fours, or maybe this thing right here is just stretched out, leaned up against this vertical tree with its knees up in air.
Yep.
Who knows?
And yeah, so I thought that was very interesting, and so yeah, once again, this is inside of a huge structure, and I've heard of people mention that these beings could and usually are in and around structures, and so I thought it was very interesting to find this timestamp there.
Oh yeah, that's you got some great stuff, man.
Appreciate it, man.
So when you come across videos, you mentioned, I don't have any of the videos or that you mentioned of these orbs.
Mm-hmm.
What typically is there something that you can say, well, when I see these orbs, this happens, or I feel this go
on? Usually, so the ones on I seen them in different places, but the ones on the property, Usually it would just kind of be like I'd be going about my evening or whatever, and I happen to look a certain way, and boom, there they are, you know. And there was one particular one on the property. We had this huge. It was a huge rock. It was like man, I can't even say how high. Maybe a few hundred feet. It was a massive, massive rock. And there's no access to it or anything, and there was trees growing on it and vegetation and whatnot, but you could tell it's a rock. And this orb would usually pop out there almost every night. And like I said, there's no real access. I mean, you could hike up there, and but I know that there was no people or anyone there at all, and this thing looked like a star, kind of bluish white color usually, and would pop out and do its thing. Sometimes it'd fade out, blink on, blink off, kind of dance around its immediate area there. And then, yeah, just throughout different parts of the property and the woods and stuff, the orbs would pop out different colors, would fly through the woods or be stationary and do all these weird things like change colors, change size, brightness, dimness. And yeah, I've seen them dart off into the sky. I've seen them drop from the sky into the woods. I've seen them float through the woods and all that, man.
All right. Once again, got another one. Another one. This is from the Appalachian Mountains. Bigfoot spotted. Okay. It's in a wintertime setting. And this one's weird to me. And I know that the audio is not going to add to it. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Now, it happens real quick, so I'm going to kind of walk this through. You can see that individual in the background there next to the structure, the A-frame, walking. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if it's a light, pops on. And then I don't know if that is a porch light, that's a motion light or whatever. I know there's not enough definition there for crapola, but
I see the subject for sure.
Let's see, zoomed out. Nah, I did something stupid. Come on, man. I need to get keyboard. Well, let me pull this. Yeah, if I keep doing this, I can pull it up a little bit more to where it's going to fit. Right there. Okay, cool. So, obviously, let me see if this is have audio. Oh, no. I definitely don't add to the thing. But you can see this thing kind of walking out. And to me, at first, maybe that's a porch light. Maybe that's not. Maybe that's an orb that just pops up and then it kind of disappears right there. Maybe.
I see that. And it does kind of look like a porch light because of the color, but who knows, bro? That's a tough one.
It is strange to look at, and that's what basically what we're doing is just having fun looking at these individual videos that claim that there might be something cryptid there. It could be.
Yeah. And the
but
subject,
look how long and lanky those legs are though.
Yeah. And I was gonna say it doesn't look massive, but you didn't say lanky, so and another thing, even if it is a porch light, the fact that it turns on at the same time that the subject gets to where the light is, I find that a little odd and interesting.
Oh yeah. So you could claim that this is just a guy dressed up in, maybe overalls or whatever, walking in the snow in front of his house with a big hat on, or somebody that's got really long legs. I don't know if you can see the back end of the leg. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I totally see.
You can see that back end of the leg. It kind of breaks where it should.
Oh, yeah.
Backwards.
That looks pretty wide to me. Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know, based off of camera, cameras being able to see a lot in low light, that could be what this is functioning under. But I wouldn't think that a motion light would be functioning during the daylight. But who knows? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I see. I get you. Yeah, if it is a motion sensor, then that's why it would go. That makes sense. Totally.
Maybe. I don't know. But there's another one. Compare it to the door. Oh, okay. Shell says, well, you can see the top of this, and this may be. Yeah, well, what's the average door? Probably about 12, 13 feet tall.
Really?
The door, the structure that you would step into in a porch. The top of it, 12 to 13 feet tall.
All right.
To look at that and just compare this to that. Okay. I know this is closer to the person's holding the camera. We'll just say 10 feet. Just base it off of that. Just do that. If this thing is equidistant to this door, and this fits right there inside of that, I don't know. Spatial relations is kind of tricky when you start talking about this. 6.5 foot door frame.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Well, no, I don't know. If I'm 6'3".
Whoa.
And I know my house is built on 7-foot door frames. This old late 1800s door. Is this based off of 7-foot, 8-foot door frames? I don't know. Who knows? But just another, what the heck is that? 8 feet, 80. Who knows? Who knows? This has been fun, man. This has been fun.
Totally.
We've been at this for 2 hours. Can you believe that?
And it went by like butter.
Oh yeah, man. Let's see if I got any other. Oh, I got that one. I don't want to play that one no more. That was that fake pic. Why in the world did I need to do that? Let's force quit that. Stop. I don't want you to play. Let's see if I got another one of your videos that we hadn't touched on. Was this one here? Nope. We touched on this one. I think we touched.
And we don't got to do all I sent you either, Sean. I wasn't sure. I was like, I hope I sent you enough stuff to.
Oh, we sit there and be able to meticulously go frame by frame and do what we've done. This is freaking fun to me. Sean, you're only 1 foot. Yes, indeed. I just have 1 foot, but I have my other leg across the house in the other room. So I can bring that in here and I have 2 feet, but there you go. Crazy. But Glenn, I appreciate you coming on here. We're going to have to do this again. I'd love to have you back on here.
Anytime, bro. I'm glad we made this happen. And I don't know what you got planned for the rest of the evening, but I'll be checking out the rest of the videos you sent me, and I'll probably send you a few more back. And I'll be surfing the YouTube waves there. You'll see me around. Oh
yeah, I appreciate you jumping on, and we've got to do this again. Or if you do a live stream or whatever, let me know. I'll hop on.
For
help
sure.
you out a little bit. Give my 2 cents worth in. I don't know how great my 2 cents is worth, but
definitely.
I had a lot of fun, man. What we usually do, if you've ever watched my show, I end the show with a prayer, if you don't mind.
Let's do it. Hey, I love that you do that. I mentioned that to my brother, and I think that's powerful, Sean. And let's do it, bro.
All right. Father God, we come before you in Jesus Christ's name. Lord Jesus Christ, and thy love and mercy establish a perimeter of protection around myself, Glenn, and all that participate and listen in this show, and all our loved ones, those who pray for us and their loved ones. May the holy angels guard us and all our possessions, establishing a perimeter of protection around us, rendering us immune from any kind of demonic influence. Ask that no demonic bondage, door, demonic entity, portal, astral projection, or disembodied spirit may enter the space of 100 yards in all directions of us. I ask that any demons within the vicinity or any that should try to enter here be rendered deaf, dumb, blind, and that thou would strip them of all weapons, armor, power, illusions, and authority, that thou would bind, rebuke, and disable them from communicating or interacting with each other in any way. Remove them, sending them directly to the foot of thy cross. Jesus, Son of the Most High. Father God, please bless the following folks. Joanne, Merlin's niece, Shell and Aiden, Laura and her family, Julie and Jeff, Justin W., Sharon Guy, Brenda, Julie S., Aaron and Erica, AJ K., Claire Ellis, Doll, Stimulate, Jack and his children, Juanita Hicks, Lee, Kim, Amy, Beth and Kurt and their father, Wes and his dad, T. Willis, Daryl Pratt, Jose Ramirez, Julie Wheeler, Marquetta Jones and her family, Holly, Sharon Arms, Kevin, Hugo Nagy, and any that have unspoken prayers. Father God, please bless them the only way you know how. In Jesus Christ's holy name, amen.
Power should.
Oh,
yeah. Amen.
Yes.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you for being a part of the show. You've been a blessing. I enjoy chatting with you. What little bit we do, hit and miss, but 2 hours just went by like that, man. Absolutely. Awesome. God bless you.
God bless you too, and God bless everyone in chat. We'll be in touch. One love, everyone.
Have a good one, folks. If you want to reach out to me, you can send me an email at SeanGraham@IamDarkWaters.com. Let me put that banner on here real quick so you can see it. SeanGraham@IamDarkWaters.com. My number is 931-994-6917, which I'm going to end the show here in just a second, but you can text me or call me. If you're going to text me, that only does alphanumeric messages. It doesn't do rich stuff like if you want to send a video or a picture. It won't take. If you want to send a video or picture, email me at SeanGraham@IamDarkWaters.com. Go to IamDarkWaters.com and look at what DW, Dark Waters, the big homie himself, has in store over there. You think he releases some good stuff over here? You need to go over there. That's where he's got everything that will blow your mind over there. But holy cow, 2 hours. Thanks to Glenn Brown Dwarf for spending 2 hours with us and his incredible knowledge and sharing his stories and his evidence and stuff. That was just amazing stuff. But God bless y'all. Saturday night, I may have somebody on ready to do some stuff Saturday night, but if not, we'll do what I usually do and take open line calls. I know I didn't take anything tonight, but holy cow, God bless y'all. Let's see who's in the chat real quick and just say howdy do and God bless you to the fine folks that's left in the chat that stayed in here. Let's see, who do we have here? Participants, we've got Andrea, Arlene, Big Cole. Appreciate the donation, Big Cole. Just saw that pop up. Appreciate that. Blues and G. Gill, Bonita, GNA Casual Conversations, Shell, Damien, Dark Woods, the other DW in the house over there, Donna P, Gene, Halfish Productions, Just Curious, Sheldon, and then Wendy. Oh my Lord, Wendy, I hadn't said howdy do to you. You've been here the entire show and I did not say howdy do to you. Oh, please forgive me. That's another lady that you need to follow is Wendy Wilson, Turquoise, and Sasquatch. You go run. Don't just hop over there. Run over to her channel and subscribe over on her YouTube channel over there. She's definitely one of those fine ladies that she's got a lot of experiences. And she can articulate very well what she has experienced. And, she does live streams over on her Facebook page and stuff, plus her YouTube page. She's got a lot of unique and extraordinary experiences that y'all just need to partake of. So that's it, folks. Sometime tomorrow, I'm going to do a experimental stream where I'm going to do a stream from this channel and a stream over on TikTok at the same time. It's going to. I can't exactly say what I'm going to do. Probably do one of these weird shows where I review evidence. I don't know, but I'm going to work through some struggles that I've been trying to do. But we'll see. Sue, hey Sue, good to see you. God bless you. And Buddha, I hope Buddha's doing well. But there you go. God bless y'all. I'll see you on the flip side.